All right, FishAholic fam, well, welcome back to another episode. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope all of you out there had a fantastic Thanksgiving. And today we're gonna try and get out in the kayak, but before we do, I just want to talk to you about today's video sponsor, Luminox high performance watches. And I just got mine a couple days ago, and it's kind of cool. It comes in this nice little hard case with foam around the timepiece to protect it. And this model here is the Pacific Diver Luminox watch. And a cool little backstory about Luminox is they were officially licensed by the Department of the Navy to make a watch specifically for US Navy SEALs. So these watches are like American born, but they're actually Swiss made. And they have many different models. I went with the Pacific Diver because I found it to be a little more like fashionable, so I could wear it out to the club, or wear it if I take a girl on a date, or just wear it when I'm out on any of my different little fishing adventures. And it's a really durable, water resistant timepiece. And what's also pretty cool is it'll glow for up to 25 years in any kind of lighting conditions without having to be recharged. So if you guys are interested in Luminox watches, just check the link in the description and use my code here on the screen to save at checkout. And I think this could make a really fantastic gift, especially with the holiday seasons coming upon us. So definitely check them out. And yeah, that's about it. Now let's head to the water and see if we can catch some fish. I'll see you guys there. All right, made it to the water. Let's go find some fish. All right, we made it to our first spot along the mangroves here. I've fished here a couple times before, and I've done pretty well. Right along this stretch and then around the corner I've done well, and I'm hoping that there'll be some fish here today. And it's been really chilly this last week. It like rained for 3 days straight. It's been really windy, and I'm thinking that a lot of fish have moved up into the headwaters of the river now. Especially being that I fished like 3 days downriver and only caught like one snook a day or one jack. And I'm thinking that a big majority of the snook, or just all the fish, it seems like, have maybe pushed up into the river. Or that's what I'm assuming. I don't know that yet, but the way the sun is shining along the mangroves here, I'm thinking this water is going to be a little bit warmer, and hopefully we'll find a good stack of snook along here, and we'll be able to get on a decent little bite. Look at that little opening right in there. That's gotta have a fish in there. Wow, nothing. All right, well, like the first 50 yards or so, no significant bites, just a bunch of little nibbles. So we're gonna cut around the point here, and it actually gets shallower once we get around this spot. Oh gosh, there was a big fish. Of course, just when I'm not paying attention, we get whacked. And wow, my leader broke like way up in the middle there. That fish must have just wrapped around a mangrove or something. I wouldn't be surprised if it broke in the middle too, because on some of the casts a little while ago, I casted it and like wrapped around a mangrove, and I was like pulling on it, and then it wrapped around the other way, and it was like going back and forth, rubbing on the tree. So like that could have weakened the leader too. All right, just gonna Albright on a new leader. I'm using 30-pound fluoro today. Hopefully this doesn't turn out to be a little too light if we end up getting into some really big fish. All right, we're making a little move now across this mud flat to this little mangrove island. I think it looks good because the sun is hitting directly on this one side that's facing me right now. So I would imagine that water there is probably gonna be a little bit warmer. All right, there's gotta be a nice fish here. or just a fish. Looks so good. There's a good fish. Oh yeah, nice fish. What could this be? Hasn't jumped yet. Oh, nice snook. Oh yeah, good fish. Good fish for some light tackle in some super skinny water. Making the move across to this little island paid off. Whew, heck yeah. All right, there's a closer look at the snooky right there. Ooh, voodoo shrimp must have just popped out. Or we might have not even gotten him in the mouth. Might have just like threw it right near him, and maybe he lunged at it and we, you know, jigged it and, you know, dropped it below him and snagged him, you know, right on the side of the face. That's kind of a good sign that, or not a good sign, a sign that the fish are maybe a little finicky because the water's cold. And I'm glad we got this one in the kayak, unlike the last one that broke us off. I want to just get a quick measure on her and then we'll send her on her way. Just about 26 inches. Nice. All right, super stoked we got that fish because we're gonna learn a lot from that second bite. The first one was in a mangrove stretch that was getting hit by the sun, and that second fish was on the tip of this little mangrove island that's being baked by the sun, and I'm noticing the water is slightly warmer, so I'm thinking for the rest of the outing, we'll try and just focus on any mangrove points or coves that are getting hit directly by this sunlight, and I think that's where we'll be able to put together a little bit of a bite. So let's keep it going, see if we can get some. Oh, it looks so good right in there. Oh, perfect little cast to snag the mangrove with. Oh, come on. At least the benefit with the kayak is we can go in there and get it. All right, got it back. Whoa, flying mullet. They're a crazy fish. Oh yeah, it looks like gold right there. How could there not be a snook right next to that tree getting hit by the sun? Oh, there was a fish. All right, well, the last hour now has just been super slow. Only one or maybe two bites. So we're gonna head back down river and I think go back to that same stretch where we lost that first fish and kind of just pick apart that area a little bit better, slow it down, and see maybe a little bit later now in the day, you know, the water could be slightly warmer there because it was slightly deeper water there, whereas like upriver here, you know, the max depth is like 3 feet. Back that way, it went from like probably like 1 or 2 feet real close to the mangroves, and then it dropped off to like 5, 6 feet where I was sitting in the kayak, and then if I went even out a little bit further, it would get to like 12 feet. So much deeper water, probably cooler water. But now with the sun hitting it, maybe it'll just, you know, increase the temperature just a little bit, and any of the fish that I think could be stacked up there will finally bite. So. There's another one. Whew. Right in the net. This guy hit it way out from the structure. Cute little snook. There he goes. All right, well, let's see if we can get another one. We're about like 200-300 yards from where we lost that first fish. We moved in with the tide, and there's a nice rip going around to this little mangrove point here, and the sun's beating right on it, and that's probably why that little snook was here. Oh my gosh. Look at the size of this one. We're going backwards on today's bite. Huh. What the heck is that? Oh, mangrove snapper. It's like a cool surprise. Not a bad one either. Thought it was gonna be something big because he just like took off ripping with it. Fishaholics. Well, I think that is about a wrap. We are on our way back to the launch. It's about 5 o'clock right now, 5:01, and the ramp that I parked at supposedly closes at sunset, so that's in like 20 minutes, and they advertise that they close the gate, so I don't want to get locked in at the ramp, so that's why we're heading back. It's probably going to take us like 10 minutes to get back, but such a frustrating day. I thought we were onto something after our first 2 bites, our 2 biggest bites, but after that we just grinded it out and fished so much mangrove structure, and our last few bites, which was 2 little snook and a snapper, was just really sporadic, and I just couldn't figure out the fish today. So I guess that's just the way it goes. It happens to all of us, and yeah, I have a feeling that it has something to do with the water temperature. I think there was a lot more fish around in this area, but they were just lockjaw. Like yesterday, you know, I fished a little bit further downriver, and I fished with artificials for 4 or 5 hours, caught a nice jack, and then a couple like really tiny dinky snooks like the one we had you know, a little while ago. And then I actually cast netted some finger mullet, and I fished with the finger mullet for 4 or 5 hours around seawalls, docks, mangroves, and not a single bite. And then I even fished into dark, and I fished around some lights and didn't even see a snook, which was really weird. So I don't, these fish are messing with me, you know. So it's just the way it goes. Hopefully, as the consistent nicer weather continues for the next like week or so, maybe that'll eventually turn the fish back on, and we'll be able to get out and get on some hot action. But until then, be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and like always, live to fish, fish to live. Just had a big wake right there. Did you see that? Good fish. Oh yeah. Right along the wall. Heck yeah. That was cool. What do we got here? Woo! There he is. It's definitely a jack. But you know what? I don't care. As long as it pulls hard and gets the heart racing, I'm happy. Nice to finally pull on something decent. All right, got him. Not a bad jack right there.